It's fine. Good morning, Lani. Good morning, Lani.
Good morning. I have when you have a second, can I ask you a question from yesterday's class?
Yes.
How does the Rambam know in Halacha Aleph? I understand that Kiddush is Zakirat Sheval David Kiddush on Friday night. How does he learn B'tziyaso that it's Friday? I understand Friday night. How does he learn Havdalah?
That's a lot of Amod. But this is why it's a machloket Rishonim. The Rambam understood if you have an important guest coming to visit you, right? You show him the respect when he comes, when he lives, right? I mean, זה באמת תלוי באינטרפרטיישנס of גמרות. יש גמרא במסכת שבועות, I think it's page 17, אז השאלה שמה, איך לומדים פשט בגמרא? The Rambam understood, and then he puts it into this pursuit. But you're right, it's definitely not from, זה לא מפורש בפסוק.
That's why I'm looking for a raya like or
יש פסוק, והבדלתם בין הקודש ובין החול. השאלה איך לומדים את הפסוק הזה, כן?
Okay. Also, yesterday when you talked about the rabbi when he lets some wine drip off onto his hand, is that the issue of Hamavarek Sarach Sheyitom, not Sheyishter, right?
נכון, זה רק טעימה, right?
Yeah, because yesterday you didn't mention Te'ima. Everybody seemed to be.
So listen carefully. By Kiddush, Shulchan Aruch says openly you have to have melol ugmav. So this is shtiya. Then by a wedding or a brit milah or pidyon haben, most poskim say that you don't need te'ima, which means in honor of the bracha, I'm holding a cup of wine, right? Now, since I said Borei Pri HaGefen, we cannot let the bracha go, so have a te'ima. But it's not a shtiya. By Friday night's Kiddush, you understand it very well, especially if you understand the way of
and on Friday night, the women have to have te'ima or shtiya? Or anybody.
One around the table is te'ima.
Okay, perfect.
The woman is making her own Kiddush Friday night, then she has to have a shtiya.
Okay, thank you.
What we are going to learn now is a long, very important machloket, Rambam and Ramban. We are going to show that they are consistent. Okay, let's go. Let's go to the Ramban, Parashat Lech Lecha, Perek Tetvav, Pasuk Yud Dalet. Tetvav Yud Dalet. Here, we have all the Rambans here on the table. Also, we have the big Chumash. The Ramban basically is having an issue. If Hashem tells Abraham Avinu, remember the word, I'll come back to it. Hashem is predicting that the Jewish people are going to suffer somewhere, then they are going to come out. So the Rambam, Maimonides and the Ramban have an issue. So why is Hashem punishing the Egyptians? Everyone hears the question every year. Everyone knows.
We talk about it.
The one question in word. Deep Ramban and Deep Rambam. Let's go.
Which paragraph?
The Ramban begins. וגם את הגוי אשר יעבודו דם אנוכי. וגם את הגוי, פסוק י"ד, יהבת פסוק י"ד, פרק י"ג, פרק ט"ו, פסוק י"ד. וגם את הגוי אשר יעבודו, וגם, מה זה וגם? שתוצא את הגוי אשר יעבודו דעת אנוכי, the nation that is going to oppress them, וגם, says רמב"ן, לרבות 4 גלויות, anytime the Jewish people were oppressed by any nation, they're also going to pay a price for it. לשון רש"י. Okay, fine. Now listen carefully. Skip 2 lines, והנכון בעיניי, so the Rashi learns that every nation, I'm using an example only, the Germans, the Babylonians, the Romans, yes, they were almost wiped out of earth as a punishment for doing, yes. Now the Ramban says, והנכון בעיניי, כי טעם וגם, listen carefully, this is how he opens the discussion between him and the Ramban, a very important discussion. אף על פי שאני גזרתי על זרעך להיות גרים בארץ לא להם, even though there is a decree that they have to be enslaved and suffering, אף על פי כן, אשפוט את הגוי, I'm going to judge and punish the nation אשר יעבודו, על אשר יעשו להם, for what they did to us, ולא ייפטרו בעבור שעשו גזירתי. I have a class, a kid that his parents are Ukrainian immigrants. He says every day when you hear the suffering of Ukraine, my parents say, God is great. It took 80 years, but they got what they deserve. My parents love Ukraine, but they got exactly what they deserve. I mean, this is the Ramban. The Ramban is saying, according to Rashi. Now the Ramban is going into the... Okay? Now the Ramban explains why. You take the Chumash there, or Ramban, you take this Chumash.
Yeah. Okay.
What is the decree that Hashem gave to Abraham that your kids gonna be suffering for 100 years? Why was it in such a harsh degree?
For the same reason that the October 7 happened, for the same reason that 67 and the same reason that 73 happened. What do you think, Justin? We are suffering, Jewish kids are falling. Hashem says we have a mission, we're not up to it, we have to. When I read this Shabbat, hundreds of Israelis are attending classes, even if they have. Some people say, I'm Shomer Mitzvot, B'li Kippah. Everything is a reminder, unfortunately. Look a second. והטעם, כמו שאמר הכתוב, listen carefully to this Ramban, כמו, והטעם, כמו שאמר הכתוב, וקינאתי לירושלים ולציון קנאה גדולה. בקצב גדול אני קוצב על הגויים. Hashem says, I'm going to be extremely angry on those nations. אשר אני קצבתי, listen to the Ramban learning Tanakh. אני קצבתי מעט. My decree was that they have to suffer. והימה, they עזרו לרעה. One pasuk, they did much more. ואומר, קצבתי על עמי וחיללתי נחלתי. Here's the Ramban. וכן היה במצרים שהוסיפו להרע כי השליכו בניהם ליאור. We had to be punished, but they took the children.
There's no murder in the decree.
This is not part of the decree. וימררו את חייהם, the level of oppression, וחשבו, and they planned to eradicate, למחות את שמם. וזה טעם דן אנוכי, שאביא אותו במשפט. Hashem says, I'm going to judge them to see did they do what we, the Jews, were supposed to get or not. וזהו מה שאמר יתרו, when יתרו מת משה, when he hears the details of the punishment of Egypt, כי בדבר אשר זדו לשון מזיד, כי הזדון הוא שהביא עליהם העונש הגדול שאיבדה מן העולם. Then he brings up a soup that we say every morning. Ki yadata ki yazidu aleh. So the Ramban here is raising a big philosophical question. According to the Ramban, if God wanted us, or anyone, to be punished, and someone decided, I'm going to punish him, will he be punished or not? If you do it for the reason that God wanted, and the measure that God wanted, you wouldn't be punished. He's coming in a minute back to elaborate, but here he gave us the foundation.
But Hashem increased the punishment is somewhat because with the Avodah Zarah we did Mitzrayim was also some of that part of it.
Yeah,
If we'd behaved perfectly,
correct.
Mitzrayim would not have
Correct.
punished us more.
Correct.
So
What
it's
you're
still-
saying now is the Ramban in Parashat B'Shalach. But the Ramban B'Shalach says, how come they were in Egypt 430 years? מושב בני ישראל אשר ישבו בארץ מצרים, פסוק 430 שנה.
So it's
Why?
where you account from.
Says the Ramban openly, because we increased. We are paying exactly. Yeah. But let's go. והרב, let's continue. It's big philosophical. The Ramban is, we are afraid to accept it because we like to live in. By tomorrow, you'll see again the same. There is a reason if he's going to be elected or not. Yeah? The reason is the we, the good Jews in New York, going to be reminded that perhaps we should be a little better to each other. There is a reason. This is exactly what it is. Ramban is saying, Hashem is sending us to Egypt. When Daniel is going to Egypt, yes. How far is he going to go if he's going to be elected? והרב נתן טעם בספר המדע. Listen carefully. Rambam gives a different reason why the Egyptians were punished. Not like the Ramban, because they did much more than they were supposed to. Lefi, this is a quote from the Rambam. לפי שלא גזר על איש ידוע. Hashem didn't say the Egyptians have to oppress them. The כל אותם המרעים לישראל, the Germans who did it to us, the Ukrainians who did it to us, אילו לא רצו כל אחד מהם, הרשות בידו. Each nation had the choice not to do it. לפי שלא נגזר על איש ידוע, listen carefully now, ולא, this is a quote from the Rambam. Here, so the Rambam is saying the Egyptians are punished. The Jewish people have to suffer. Why did you choose to be the bully?
Yeah.
This is why you're paying.
They stepped up.
Says the Ramban, listen how good. ולא נתקנו דבריו אצלי, doesn't sit well with me, says the Ramban. Why? Listen carefully. שאפילו גזר שאחד מן האומות יריע להם בכך וכך. Listen carefully what he says. Let's say Hashem says that the Germans have to oppress the Jews, but the Ukraine said, no, if there is a decree that the Jews have to suffer, we are grabbing the mitzvah. Yes. וקדם זה, ועשה גזירתו של הקדוש ברוך הוא, זכה בדבר המצווה. Says if there was a decree that we have to suffer, even if God would point out a name, says the Ramban and the Rambam, according to you, Egyptians should not be punished. Because if there is a decree that we have to punish, right? They fulfill the decree of God. Even though he didn't say you, so what? This is the point of argument.
So they want to get in the general umbrella.
ומה הטעם בדבריו, and this is what he says. He's giving now an interesting analogy. כאשר יצווה המלך, the king is commanded, שיעשו בני מדינה פלונית מעשה מן המעשים. The king wants the people of New York to do something. Okay, listen carefully. המתרשל ומטיל הדבר על האחרים, חומס וחוטא נפשו. If the people of this community are saying, we're not doing it, let them do it, be punished. But והעושה יפיק רצון ממנו. If another community is doing it on their own, you see that this is the king's will, and I'm doing it. וכל שכן, שהכתוב אמר, וגם את הגוי אשר יעבודו, שיעבדו הגוי כולו. והם הלכו לעמם למצרים. Says the Ramban, I strongly disagree. We ended up in Egypt. They didn't bring us in Egypt. And there was a decree. So why are the Egyptians to be punished? Unless you take the explanation of the Ramban, that they overdid it. They overdid it for the children. Fine. Listen carefully. Okay, skip a little. Okay. וכבר הזכירו רבותינו העניין הזה. זאת אומרת, basically, if you realize, he's really having a big question at the Rambam. How can the Rambam say, the reason is because I didn't say you, but if the king wants it to happen, he wants it to happen. So we picked up the tab. We're doing it. Why should they be punished? In the meantime, I'll tell you how the Or Sameach is defending the Rambam in a beautiful way. And we will see that the Rambam and the Ramban in other places have the same type of argument. Listen.
This sounds like when HaKadosh Baruch Hu went around to all the different nations and asked them, Kiblu et Torah, no one accepted.
Very similar. וכבר הזכירו רבותינו העניין הזה ואמרו, ובאלה שמות רבה, listen to an analogy from the Midrash that the Ramban is bringing to prove his point. אמר לאדון שאמר לבנו, יעשה עם פלוני ולא יצערנו. Yes? Master says to his son, do so and so to someone, but don't make him suffer too much. הלך ועשה, אף על פי שעשה עמו חינם, לא הניח שלא היה מצערו. My father told me to do, I did it, but I gave it to him. כשנתרצה האדון לבנו, נגזר על מצערה והריגה. You overdid it. כך גזר הקדוש ברוך הוא שיהיו ישראל משובדים במצרים אמת. We have to עמדו עליהם, the Egyptians, ושיעבדו, but they oppressed him in a very strong way. אמר הקדוש ברוך הוא, היה לכם לנהוג בם כעבדים ויעשו צורכם. The Jews should have been you, each one of us have one day or every day, except that when a woman comes, this is the way the Jews were supposed to be in Egypt. לנהוג בם כעבדים ויעשו צורכם. אני קצפתי מעט. So the Ramban repeats what he says. Now, says Ramban, בדבר ברור הוא כי השלכת בניהם ליהור אינה בכלל לעבדו בעבוד. There's no question. The Egyptian decision to take the kids and kill them is not part of the original decree. אבל לעקירתם, the Egyptians are trying to eradicate, to wipe out. לגמרי, וכן מה שאמרו תחילה, הבה נתחכמה לו פן ירבה. אינו בכלל עבדות ועידוד, which means the Ramban says if you would have taken all the Jews who work for you, gardeners, clean the house, chop wood, this is Abed, this is Ma'abadut. Now, why is this a Inui? Because for an intelligent man to cook, to whatever, אינו בכלל עבדות בעינוי, בלבד מה שהוסיפו בעינוי עצמו, וימררו את חייהם בעבודה קשה, the pasuk emphasizes, וימררו, הוא מה שאמר הכתוב יונס, we say פרשת כי תבוא בביקורים, וירא את עוניינו, ואת עמלנו, ואת החצנו. This is what Hashem is looking for.
Would Rambam have a problem with Maseh Avot Siman Lebanim?
In a minute. The Maseh Avot Siman Lebanim is enough. If the Maseh Avot is to go to a government, to be.
But we'll end up in Mitzrayim because Abraham went down to Mitzrayim. So was that place chosen? We had nothing, you know what I'm saying?
In retrospect, this is the reason, but the Ramban is saying before that. So
before that, Mitzrayim stepped up?
No, it's a very deep philosophical.
Also, there were consequences, but there were limits on the consequences. That's probably what it was.
Now, listen now, the Ramban doesn't let go. Listen good.
Rabbi, maybe I'm missing something. So you say that it was up to the Egyptians to throw the babies into the Nile. But if
No,
Hashem didn't want that to happen, he wouldn't have allowed it to happen. I must have missed something.
Listen carefully. I'm a bully, and I'm going to you, and I'm really smacking you. Now we go to the judge and say, "Yes, I believe in God."
He deserves it.
Reject Hitler, he doesn't deserve it. My hand would have frozen. The judge will say, "This is God's plan for Jack,
Yeah.
but you chose." But this is
Oh,
exactly.
so that means that the children
No,
going into
no,
the
of
Nile
course,
was Hashem part of
no, of
Hashem?
Yeah, it's a whole
course.
thing, right?
Of course,
You're saying,
right,
no, but
right,
why-
yeah.
why
I thought
would
you said that wasn't
no,
part of
no,
the decree.
this is
They
the
chose to do
sign.
it.
This is the
Yeah, I
sign.
know
that-
they decided
But this
to
is
do
what the
it.
Ramban is
I
saying.
thought you were saying before that wasn't.
No,
part
no,
of
no,
the
no,
decree.
no, no. He says this Hashem didn't say it should happen. They would have been the kids would have been punished, but this is not part of the
What problems you run into with this? You run into that midrash
Wait,
where
wait.
Moshe complains to Hashem, and then
wait,
he says, "Oh,
wait,
these
listen,
two babies will say."
It sounds like a Lavan Bikesh Lakorat HaKol. Somehow this.
This is exactly the same. Listen. The Ramban understands that this is big. Listen. Veda ve'aven. Listen and analyze. Listen and analyze. Aish, please listen now is really going to our life. האיש שנכתב ונחתם בראש השנה להריגה.
We just finished.
God decided that his life is coming to an end. לא ינקה על ליסטים ההורג אותו. I mean, the bully that killed him,
It's their fault.
בעבור שעשה מה שנגזר. This Hashem already gave it.
So they've been walking.
הוא רשע. בעוונו ימות. ודמו מיד הרוצח יבוקש. אבל this is this, but אשר תצא הגזרה על פי נביא, if a נביא comes, יש ועושה אותה דינים. If the Navi comes and says, if you remember there's a case in Tanakh, if the Navi says to another way, punch me. אם שמע אותה ורצה לעשות רצון רבו, ever heard it and says this, the prophet says to do it, כנגזר אין עליו חטא, אבל יש לו זכות בו. He brings a terrible case in Tanakh, but it happens as always. כאשר אמר ביהוא, Yehu was a very good king for many years. Hashem appeals to him through a prophet and says, go to the family of Achab and wipe them out. About tens and tens of men, women, and children. Yan asher ativota na'asot hayashar ba'inai, which was to punish the family of Achab. V'chol asher bilvavi asita lebeit Achab. Who did exactly what they wanted. Banim Reveim, Hashem promises Yehu that even his four generations, children will be kings. Aval, please listen carefully now. Im Shama mitzvah, ve'arag oto l'sin'ah. I hate the guy anyway. Now I'm looking for the opportunity. Yesh alav onesh.
He's happy that Hashem gave him
Yehu
the Gezerah.
lechet mitkavel. והעבירה היא, לא.
I don't understand.
Wow.
Why?
Hashem's coming to him and says, and if he happens to hate the person, then what? He's going to be punished?
Then
No, then what?
don't
Shouldn't
touch it,
fulfill
then
the word mitzvah of Hashem?
only if the guy is doing it because God has said it should happen. You're doing it because you look for opportunity to put the gun.
I already did, but you were told from Hashem to do something. You can't not
No,
do it.
he's not talking about what Hashem says to this guy do. He's saying a prophet says that whoever destroys Beit Achab is going to be.
Oh, okay. Okay,
General.
I thought you said
General.
general.
Yeah,
Okay, got it. I understand.
If
To him to do it, I understand. Okay.
So could you, Rabbi Prague, could you summarize both the Ramban and first the Ram? I'm a little confused. So if you,
again. According to Rambam, when Hashem decides that something bad should happen to a nation, to an individual,
But he doesn't designate.
but he doesn't designate, whoever picks it is going to be punished. Why did you decide? This is not your business. Says the Ramban, no. Says the Ramban, they did it, they overdid it, and they didn't do it because, again, because Hashem said so. They did it because we hate the Jews. Here, if you want to see here, later it brings Tanakh, brings why was the king of Ashur punished? Why was Nebuchadnezzar punished? Yeshayahu, Yirmiyahu, Ezekiel are full prophecies. The Jewish people are going to pay a heavy price. Skip few lines, go with Nebuchadnezzar. Look, Nebuchadnezzar, by you, it's You have skip few, like skip like
Couple of paragraphs.
like 6, 7, 8 lines.
Okay.
Hey, Joseph, you are Joseph is on the right side, on the bottom. והנה נבוכדנצר שמע, כי הנביאים, please listen carefully what he's saying now. Nebuchadnezzar is the king of Babel. He heard the prophecies of Yeshayahu and Yirmiyahu and Yechezkel, קוראים אותו להחריב את ירושלים. והוא וכל עמו נצטוו על כך לפי הנביא. The Navi is prophesying Eli and Nebuchadnezzar. You come in the story. כמו שכתוב, הנני שולח לך או לך, ולקחתי את כל משפחות צפון. צפון is בבל נבוכדנצר. ונבוכדנצר המלך בבל עבדי ואבי אותים על הארץ הזאת ועד ישפר. Another pasuk.
So he shouldn't be punished for that.
Correct,
This,
correct,
as of
correct,
now.
exactly.
His assignment.
וכתיב,
As of
הנני
now.
נותן את העיר הזאת ביד הכסדים, ביד נבוכדנצר. This is an open prophecy. Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonians are going to destroy Yerushalayim and burn it. ואף על בית המקדש עצמו בנאמר, ונתתי את הבית. והם יודעים כי מצוות השם, כמו שאמר נבוזראדן ירמיהו, השם אלוקיך דיבר את הרעה הזאת על המקום הזה, ויבוא ויעש השם כאשר דיבר כי חטאתם להשם.
Right, but if he was happy about it, that's just like
ואף על כן,
major general.
so how can you punish Nebuchadnezzar if Hashem already named
He named him.
Nebuchadnezzar?
It's a different
Named
thing,
him,
but
but he
we
still
didn't
had
name
it.
him.
Wait. So now we have a question here.
He
So
got
why
designated.
is Nebuchadnezzar punished? Continue. בעיה זה, נשיא בעיה זה, מפני שתי טעמים. האחד, שגם הוא נתכוון להשמיד כל הארץ, להגדיל ממשלתו.
Yeah.
He is doing it because
He's
he wants
benefiting.
to be an imperialist.
Yeah.
כמו שכתוב פה, והשבעתי גאון זידים, וגאוות הריצים משפיל. I'm going to lower his ego. הוא כתיב, ואתה אמרת, referring to נבוכדנצר, בלבבך השמיים האלה, I'm going to go up, וכתוב ואלה על במותיה, it brings many פסוקים. הוא כתיב באומתו, he brings many פסוקים. והנה זה כעונשו של הסנחריב. Okay, skip 4 lines, אבל this is one reason. So one reason is you have an ego, and you would have liked to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But now you jump on the wagon.
And now you can be rewarded for following the instructions so well.
No, but that happens to us every day.
Of course.
And even with
Not
mitzvot,
acceptable.
right? Even with mitzvot, we have mitzvot. Oh, I'm going to do this mitzvah because it benefits me.
Okay,
And this
but
mitzvah,
at
it
least-
doesn't benefit me, but
check,
Hashem said
but-
to do it, I'm going to do it
but-
anyway.
but-
It's a different level.
אמת. אבל היה במלך בבל עונש אחר, the same as the Egyptian now, שהוסיף על הגזירה והירה לישראל יותר מאוד.
When
He
extra,
much
extra,
stronger.
extra, more
כמו שאמר בו, קצבתי על עמי, חיללתי נחלתי. Hashem says, I was angry at the Jewish people. I wanted to punish the city, but
That's not worth the map.
ואתנה בידך, לא שמת להם רחמים. You Nebuchadnezzar did not have any mercy. על זקן הכבדת עולך מאוד. Old people הכבדת, you oppressed them מאוד, much more than deserve. ועל כן בא עליהם עונש כפול ומכופל, שנשמט זרעו לגמרי, ולא יהיה לבבל שם ושאר בנים ונכד. So then because of that, Babylonia went down. No, fine, okay.
So
Rabbi,
twofold.
if Nebuchadnezzar didn't do it, because in his mind he
He says he
that-
would not be punished.
Oh,
This is
really?
what he said.
That would
Because
have to be
Hashem,
the only
because
answer.
Hashem is telling him, go do it.
Go do it. So I said, I'm not doing it because it benefits me. I want to do it only.
So
for
who was the
good
one
person. Then
who
he's not gonna get
who
punished.
shot the arrows and the arrows returned and decided I'm not doing
Oh,
that?
the Gemara in Gittim. This is the
You
Romans.
can't win.
Oh, that was the Romans, sorry.
The Romans. Now listen to this. Comes the Meshech Chochmah. The Meshech Chochmah is a strong supporter of the Rambam in every halakha. He says, I understand the Ramban. Again, listen carefully what the Ramban claims. The Ramban says, I don't think that the Egyptians should be punished because God wanted it. Says the Meshech Chochmah, listen carefully. Let's go to the Pesukim. Okay, I'll say it by out. Says the Meshech Chochmah, what is the Pasuk? Listen. Yadua Teda. Remember, Hashem is speaking to Abraham. כי גר יהיה זרעך בארץ לא להם, ועבדו ויראו אותם. Says the Meshech Chochmah, Hashem is not commending the
He's just
Egyptians.
reporting the
This
future.
is the point. Says the Meshech Chochmah, this was not a comment. If there was a comment, then
Yeah, they covered.
cover. But Hashem is telling
They
him,
covered with the action, but not to the degree.
Hashem is telling him the future.
Yeah.
You picked up on it. This is not our issue. It's a fair mode. So I have in the house a Meshech Chochmah with commentaries. Very nice. It says, go now to Parshat Vayechi. Go to
But is it Hashem like forecasting the future, or is it because of the state of Israel, what they are doing?
No, of course you are
Free will
right, but
within
from the point of view of the Egyptians, Hashem did not commit. Hashem is telling Abraham, I'm
They
giving
gave the
you,
opportunity.
I'm giving
Yeah,
you.
they wanted to do it.
Correct.
They took the button.
Yeah.
They were the weapon.
You remember when Yaakov Avinu is talking about Yehuda, he's giving each one a blessing, yes? Remember? This is what he says to Yehuda. Let's go to Yehuda.
Gora Yehuda Miteref Bnei Alita Kara Ravat Kubimi Kamin Yosef Shevet Midinam Goga.
I got this pasuk. I learned so Shevet Yehuda.
So Yosef Shevet Midam Chokek Bida Ad Ki Avo.
Listen carefully.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Go to Vayechi.
Good morning, Larry.
9 probably.
Now.
Welcome back.
Are you back home
We
now?
need another vote.
I'm sitting in the club lounge in Shenzhen, China. I just finished dinner. They send me dinner over from the Chabad. It's amazing how you can have kosher food sitting in China. It's amazing. And look at the place I'm in. It's so pretty, beautiful lounge, and I'm waiting for Rabbi Prague's glass.
Very nice. Beautiful. Thank you. Says the Ramban in Sefer, in Parashat Vayechi, when Yaakov Avinu is blessing Yehuda, he promises Yehuda
At the end.
again.
It's 40.
But we have different books here.
A lot of different drinks.
ולפי דעתי, see this? It's in the middle of Pasuk Yud. ולפי דעתי, says the Ramban, hear this? If you have this book, Joseph, it's Reish Tetvav. Okay, you can listen to the language here. ולפי דעתי, Ramban speaking, היו המלכים המולכים על ישראל בשאר השבטים, sees יעקב אבינו, promises kingdom to Yehuda. Those who did not come from David, עוברים על דעת אביהם ומעבירים. The Ramban says, Hashem promised it, וזה היה עונש החשמונאים, says the Ramban, the Hashmonaiim saved the Jewish people. They were ruling close to 200 years. Why were they killed one by one? וזה היה החשמונאים שמלכו בבית שלי, כי היו חסידי עליון, they were righteous people בחשמונאים. ואלמלא without them, the Torah would be forgotten. ואף על פי כן נענשו עונש גדול בחשמונאים, כי 4 בני חשמונאי הזקן, the four החסידים, עם כל גבורתם והצלחתם נפלו מיד אויביהם לחרב. Why? They saved the Jewish people, they saved the Beit HaMikdash, says the Ramban. The punishment was so severe on them that the Gemara says in Bava Batra, כל מאן דאמר מבית חשמונאי, anyone that claims that he's a descendant of חשמונאים, not a man. Fine. Why? So again, it says the Ramban, pay attention, it's beautiful now. It says the Ramban, why? Because your grandfather says, לא יעשו שבט מיהודה. There's no time to look, but the Rambam, give me one Rambam's money.
Hashem put it in place, Yerobam, right?
What? You're giving me everything.
I know.
Didn't Hashem put Yerobam in place?
What?
They tried to change it
Oh,
yesterday.
fix that.
Samson tried to change it yesterday.
Is
it the right time?
No,
That's correct. I'm not touching that one.
I'll fix that one.
Samson tried to do it yesterday. It's a funny thing. It's digital analog. You push the button for the time zone and the thing starts turning. This one. You push the button the right time zone and it starts to circle and stops.
They stopped at the wrong time.
Yeah.
No, it should be a place where you're gonna say daylight savings time on. It's usually there's a.
Really, like when the Rambam is giving us the history of the Hashmonaim, listen carefully what he says.
I had trouble with this.
The Rambam says,
Just this.
No.
listen,
If the Torah could tell us
listen,
something.
the
about
Rambam,
boy as
the
a-
Rambam is describing the miracle, okay? The Greeks did so and so. The Hashmonaim, עד שריחם עליהם אלוהי אבותינו והושיע מידם, וגברו בני חשמונאי, the victory. Now the Rambam is saying that part of the miracle, והעמידו מלך מן הכהנים, and they appointed a king from themselves, וחזרה מלכות לישראל יותר מ-200 שנה. The Rambam is listing the fact that they took over the kingdom as part of the miracle. The
That was
Ramban
okay.
says the Ramban says it's an Avera.
But he's gave him a time. They should have turned it over at some
Yeah.
point.
Either like
Yeah,
either
you
there-
said my time Shani.
but the Rambam clearly disagrees with the Ramban on that. Says the commentator on the Meshech
But
Chochmah,
Rabbi, what basically was the
one
point? What was the point?
One of them is consistent. Did Yaakov Avinu give a command, or Yaakov Avinu will just give predicting the future? You hear? Lo yasu shevet mi Yehuda. You understand? According to the Rambam, yes, this was not a command. It's predicting the future, the same as in Egypt.
Well, that's what he started at the bracha. Mashikre b'charit hayamim.
This is the point. The Ramban understood by Mitzrayim that if Hashem says it, it's like a command. Even though Hashem is commanding to Abraham,
But he didn't say
Hashem is reporting to Abraham, it's going to happen, it's like a command. So the
And the
Ramban,
Hashmonaim didn't know this, Rabbi? They didn't know this?
according to the Ramban, they didn't, and according to the Ramban, they got a reward to be kings. This is the Machloket Rambam and Ramban. How to interpret what Yaakov Avinu said. Is it a reward or not? They have a wonderful day. We have to run. There it's very nice thing. It's beautiful interpretation.
Al, travel safely.
Take care.